What is going on, everybody? Welcome to day 3. Today, I'm going to be talking about the market structure, the most fundamental thing you are going to need when you're going to look at the chart. If you don't understand this, you cannot trade, right? Um, Market structure is the most important thing when it comes to charting. Let's get into it. First of all, how does the market move? The market moves in a certain way when we're bullish and when we're bearish. When we are bullish, you want to see highs get broken. You want to see lows being respected. This low is respected. This low is respected. This low is respected. This low is respected. This high has been broken. This high has been broken. This high has been broken. Here you can clearly see we're in a bullish trend. Well, if we are in a bearish trend, we're going to look for lows to get broken and highs to get respected, right? If we're going to look here, we see a low gets broken. We see a low gets broken. We see a low that gets broken. On the highs, high gets respected, high gets respected, high gets respected. Obviously, price is not going to show you guys the most beautiful price action when I drew it on the chart, but it's going to look something like this, right? You have a break of structure, so you break a high, and then you get a pullback. So this low needs to be respected if you want to continue higher, correct? And this high needs to be disrespected in order to continue higher. So what we want to see is we want to see price break this high and respect this low. That's the first step. We see, okay, we have a break of structure in towards the upside, and we see that we are in a pullback, of course, right? We made this high, we are pulling back, and of course, price isn't gonna show it like this, right? And this little pullback, the one you see here, is this. Price is never gonna show you this, right? Just a straight move down and then a straight move back. You're always gonna see some choppy price action, right? And inside of this choppy price action, you can see other small break of structures, so breaks of highs and breaks of lows. How are we gonna see? Okay, price wants to reverse. We want to see a fractal structure shift. Now, when we have this, right, we have our bias. We want to break a high and we want to respect a low. We want to break this high. We want to respect this low. We want to see a fractal structure shift. Now, what is a fractal structure shift? I'll show you right now on the screen. And what does that mean? Is that price internally on the individual candlesticks is going to show you market structure. Let's show you guys right here. We can see price creates a low, a high, a low, a high, a low. Now, let's see, and let's draw it with this path tool, right? We create a low, a high. You can see that we get a pullback, we get a high again, then we break this low and make a new high, we make a new low. That is this move. Make a low, make a high, make a low again, we make a high again, make a low again, we make a high, then we make this low. So that is just the exact same move. Like this. But you can see that we disrespect lows and we respect highs. Right? Break of structure and a break of structure. Now, on the fractal market, we want to see the wicks getting disrespected. It doesn't matter if it's a body close or a wick for fractal structure. Fractal structure doesn't matter. You can see we get a break of structure here. So we break this low and we break this high. So what does that mean? We actually get a change of character. So from disrespecting lows to disrespecting highs and respecting lows. If we're going to look, we break this low and we break this high again. Now we respect the low here and we disrespect this high here. So this is then a break of structure. So what we did was we have this move. Like here, like so, right? We were disrespecting lows And once price was ready to reverse, we started disrespecting highs and respecting those lows. And that's the exact same thing that happened here. You can see here, same thing, break of structure, change of character. We disrespected the low. Let's see, right? We have break of structure. We make a high, make a low again. As you can see here, we break structure and we continue this path. What do we want to see when we do get this change of character? We want to see price come to a certain point where we do get that change of character. So we see volume being removed from the market. These large wicks, you can see that. Then obviously you can see once we do disrespect this high, we actually get the change of character. Price just continues to give us that same thing, right? Here we get a high, we break it. Here same thing, we get a high, we break it. But then here again, we see a low, and we break it. Small change of character, we see another break of structure. And then you can see a clear move back in towards the highs, right? So here, yes, you got a change of character. And these are two break of structures, right? Break of structure, change of character, change of character, change of character. And then you can see, okay, we get another change of character in towards the upside, and we just continue with this move. Same thing here, we break structure, and here we change character. And here you can see we take out this wick. So this is another break of structure. This is another change of character. Then here again, we get another change of character and another break of structure. So that is internal structure, or that is fractal structure. On the individual candlesticks, the thing I would like to see is this. I want to see this move, right? When we are bearish, we want to see a wick. The next candle does not touch this wick, and then the new candle does touch the wick. And then for the upside, we want to see a wick, one candle that does not tap into a wick, and then one candle to do tap into this wick, right? And then you can see we have a high, we have a low, we create a new high. So, right, you have this. You can clearly see the pattern inside. In this case, you have this. Why not do this? Because this wick came actually higher. So you have this move. And this is what you want to see on the charts. Let's say we see this here, right? You can see we have a high. So if this high, this wick does not come in towards this wick. This wick does not come in towards this wick. So this is the fractal break. What do we do now? We pull back, we make this low, which is another fractal break. What do we do? Fractal break in towards the upside. So this becomes a fractal shift in towards the downside. So what do we see? From disrespecting highs to respecting highs, disrespecting lows. So let's say we want to see a new clear movement on the charts for NZD/JPY. You can see here, this candle does not touch this wick, the bottom of this wick. And you can clearly see, okay, once price comes above here, we are ready to take a long position. Now let's go over to swing structure. Okay, so now we're going to go over swing structure. What is swing structure? Swing structure is how the market moves on the higher time frame. If we can see, the market will give us these moves, right? We'll get this, we'll get this, we'll get this, and then we'll get this. So the overall swing structure is gonna be this break of structure. Okay, so this is our break of structure. Now let's say the market continues to rally up. We do not count these as breaks of structure. All right, we want to see the market structure shift. Then we want to see price come in into a valid area for us. And then we want to see another move up, creating this as our swing break of structure. Okay, so if we are going to compare that to real life examples on the chart, this is AUD USD. Let's see here. You can see we have a move up, we have a move down, and we have a large move up. All right. So if we're going to look, this move is our swing break of structure. This move is not our swing break of structure. Why? Because this isn't a valid proper pullback. Right? You can see it does get respected, right? This low gets respected. But for me, this wouldn't be a valid break of structure. This is just this. You're gonna know what a valid break of structure is in back testing or in forward testing, but there's no certain rules to count something as a swing market structure shift or break of structure. Right? What do we see here? Again, we see a pullback in towards the downside. We see a move up. We see a pullback in towards the downside. We see a move up. So what is that break of structure now? This right here is our break of structure. This is not that break of structure. It is, but it is internally. And that's what we're going to identify with the fractal structure, right? So if we can see right now on AUD USD, we are bullish swing structure, but we are bearish fractal structure. So if we combine those two, we get a fractal break in towards the upside. So a break of structure in towards the upside, break in towards the downside. We see a move up. We see another break in towards the downside. We see a move down. We see a move up in towards the downside. We see a move down. We see a move up in towards the downside. So now when our market structure aligns, which we want to see price get above this level, we can then look for a long, right? Our objective is to basically align the swing structure with the fractal structure. And if we look at another pair, let's take AUD CHF for example. This is just a naked chart. On the 4-hour, what can we see? We get a swing break of structure, right? Because if we draw the overall swing market structure, we can see that we make a low, we make a high, we make a higher low, make a higher high, make a higher low, make a higher high, we make a higher low. Here we wait, okay, we make a new higher high, higher low, higher high. This was the Black Swan event, so this week doesn't count. We need a close as well. So this is a break of structure. This is the break of structure. This is the break of structure. And then this is the break of structure as well. And then let's see, we have this overall move. So if we want to see continuation back in towards the upside, what do we want to see? We want to see this low get respected, right? Because of the Black Swan event, a lot of liquidation happened. You can see, I think this was the last low that price took out. And if we are going to look at the next one, we can see, let's take this low, for example. We are going to trade within this range. So what do we see here? We see a fractal break of structure in towards the upside. So a fractal break. What do we see again? We see a fractal break in towards the upside. And what do we see here? We see a fractal structure shift in towards the downside. Again, fractal structure shift in towards the downside. Then here again, fractal structure shift in towards the downside. Meaning we are bearish on the fractal, but bullish on the swing. And we don't want to see that. We want to see bullish on the swing and bullish on the fractal. Let's head to another pair and show you the last example. If we're going to look on GBP AUD, this is a not so clean chart, but you can see the moves that price does. Yes, this could be a break of structure, but we're not going to count it as the move after it was not significant. So this is the overall large move. And a little tip for you guys to identify where we are at and if we are looking for a new break of structure, I will take the orange box and I will drag it. Let's say if we are in a bearish example, we have two phases. We have an impulse phase and we have a pullback phase. As you can see, this is a big impulse phase. Price delivers the move that is following the direction, right? We are bearish, so we want to see a big move downwards. The upwards moves are going to be pullbacks, okay? So if we're going to get this is another move in towards the downside. So we have a impulse, we have a pullback here. We see another big impulse. Here we see another pullback. Here we see another impulse. And right here, where we are at right now, we are in the pullback phase. And if we are going to look, we can clearly see the market structure. Break of structure, break of structure. Now, what I want you to do is when you have your swing structure, I want you to mark the last break of structure. And you can see that right here. And what do we know when we have a break of structure in towards the downside? We know that we are within a range, right? This high needs to be respected and this low needs to be disrespected. So what I want you to do is I want you to get this tool and you want to mark out the high as your overall high and then the low as your overall low. Now, what do we see? We have a swing, break of structure in towards the downside, and our fractal is bullish. So that's not what we want, right? We see a fractal break in towards the downside right here. We see another fractal break in towards the downside right here. And we see another one right here. And then we see that change of character in towards the highs. Here we see another change of character. Here we see another change of character. But then here, price shifts back in towards the downside, giving us an opportunity to short, which would have occurred, which would have resulted in a loss. Here we see another change of character in towards the upside. And what do we want to wait for is for price to give us another change of character back in towards the downside. So for now, this is the low that we need to break in order for us to switch bearish on the fractal. So we need to align the swing and the fractal structure in towards the same situation. If we are bearish on the swing, we don't want to buy in towards fractal structure, right? We want to align it with our time frame, correct? The last example, just a quick one, is I want you guys to look at USD JPY, and this is a very bad price right here. You can see break of structure, overall high, we changed character, we are moving sideways, we had a big impulse, move down, we failed to break this low, so we are in a very bad position. So on the 1 hour time frame, we can see that we are actually bullish here, right? We see the break of structure in towards the upside. We see the break of structure in towards the upside. And every single time, if we mark out the impulse, we are going to mark out the pullback phase. We are going to mark out the impulse, and we are going to mark out the pullback phase. And if we do this, we will get a very clear mind when we're looking into the charts. We can clearly see what phase we are in. Same thing here. We see a impulse, then we see a pullback. And then we see an impulse. This is just the overall impulse. And now we should experience a pullback. How do we identify that one of these pullback phases are over? We are going to see the fractal structure shift. We see a fractal structure shift in towards the downside, or a fractal break of structure. And we see a fractal break of change of character in towards the upside. And then we continue in towards the upside, creating this fractal structure. Right? This fractal structure will be, for the most part, aligned with the swing trading, with the swing structure. that's basically it. Thank you for watching. Let's get on to day 4. If you guys want to support me, make sure to sign up using my affiliate link down below. For prop firms, for brokers, doesn't matter. But that's it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.